Hello everyone, welcome back to Pseudo Sensei. Hope you guys are doing good. Today we're going to look at variables in Go. We'll also learn how to take an input from the user. Post that we'll learn about a simple construct called if-else and how it works in Golang. So this is going to be an exciting one. Let's get right into it. Alright, so here I am in my Learn Go directory that we created in our first video. So as you can see, there is only one folder in it called Hello World. Let's go ahead and create a new folder and I'll call it say my name. Cool. So let's go into that folder, and again I press tab while I'm typing the name to grab it quickly and just go into it. So from here we're just gonna do go mod init, and I'm gonna call this project say my name. Cool. So once we do that, we'll see that a go.mod file is created for us. We learned about this go.mod in our last video, that was learn go 02. So if you're wondering what this file is, you can go ahead and check that video. We will not talk about this anymore. Let's just get into our variable things. Back to Visual Studio Code. I've already opened my project say my name. I'm gonna create a new file main.go, give it a package and create our main method. There we go. So let's talk about variables. Variable is just like a box. No, seriously, you store things in a box, right? So similarly, you store things in variables. In Golang, variable has three parts. Declaring a variable has three parts. First of all, we write the keyword var, followed by the name of the variable. So I'll just call it my variable, my var, followed by the type of the variable. So the type defines the kind of object you're going to put into the variable. So here simply we're going to give it string. String is a collection of words. So what are we aiming? We are aiming to store our name inside this my var. So the good assumption is that it's going to be of a type string. Cool. So following up with that, I'm just gonna do fmt.println and ask what is your name. Cool. So after that we actually have to tell it our name. So how do we do that? We again use fmt, but this time we're going to use scan. So scan is just like it's going to scan our input. It's going to read our input. So it's going to read our input and it's actually going to store it in a variable. So we have to give it the variable name. So we created myvar and I have given it the myvar variable name. So actually we're not done yet. We have to put an ampersand before it. The reason we're putting an ampersand is a bit more involved, but just to give it an overview, we are telling scan the location of this object, or I mean the location of this variable, right? So we're telling it scan to use this variable, but we're giving it the location of the variable. We're going to cover more about it in the pointers and location video, but right now all you need to know is that you have to put this this and sign before the variable name. Cool. So once we have that, we can actually go ahead and do something with this variable. So we're gonna go ahead and do hello comma, and we're going to give it the name of our variable. Make sure you put a comma here. Actually just remove the comma from there, might cause any confusion. And we're going to give it my var. Right, so what have we done? Let's do a quick recap. We created our main method. We created a variable myvar, and it's of type string. A string is just a collection of characters. Following that, we just created a small line that we're going to print what is your name. And following up with that, we are actually scanning the name here. We are asking the go compiler to wait and allow the user to put their name. So once the user does that, it's just going to store the value in my var. Post that, it's just going to print hello and the name of the person or whatever is in this variable. Cool, sounds simple. Let's open our terminal and build this. So if you remember, we build it by go build dot. There you go. It should have created a new executable, say my name. We're going to open that up right? So on line number 8 we asked what is your name, so it's doing that. Post that on line number 10 we asked it to scan something, but so yeah, it's waiting for us to enter something. So I'm just gonna put in Aki and press enter. So it says hello space Aki. You can actually go ahead and remove this space because it already, I can see there are two spaces, so it already puts a space between the different objects that we pass to println. Cool. Press command K to remove that, and I'm just gonna close the terminal. There you go. So a variable is just like a box. You store something inside the variable. The basic way to declare a variable in Golang is just var, name of the variable and type of the variable. There is an other way to do it, but we're going to learn that in the next video. All right, now let's consider a scenario. Let's say you have a name. Okay, you do have a name, right? Yeah, so you have a name and you're tired of people, calling you with wrong names or something. So you want to create a program that checks if the person has, called your name correctly. And if it is, then you tell them you are correct. And if not, then you tell them you're wrong, right? So let's go ahead and ask this question, or it's not even a question, it's just an order. It's like, say my name. Yeah, sure. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna allow the user to say the name, right? So we're gonna do fmt.scan, and we're gonna put in, oh, we've not actually created this variable, so let's quickly create this variable. I've created a variable name and it's of type string. I'm doing a scan and I'm putting the name here, so I'm gonna allow the user to enter a name, and we're going to store it in this variable. Cool. All right, so now I want to see if the name that they have said is correct, right? So how do we do that? Like, if they say Aki, then I want to tell them you're right, else I want to tell them you're wrong. So how do we do it? Exactly how we say it, right? If name, which is this variable where we have stored the name they have told us, right, equals to Aki, I'm gonna do fmt dot print, actually do println you're right, else I'm gonna do fmt dot println you're wrong. Okay, so a few questions might come in your head, like, why are we using two equal to signs? So why don't we use one equal to sign? So if you go to right squiggly line here, it's going to say that it's expecting a boolean expression and found in an assignment. So basically one equal to sign means that you're putting the value in this variable, which we don't want to do. We want to compare these two things. So to do the comparison, we use two equal to signs. So we are basically saying here, if the name is Aki, do this, else do this, right? It's pretty simple. It's straightforward like that. Other things that you might have seen is that we are using two braces here and two braces here. It's just to tell the compiler that don't perform anything outside of these braces, right? Awesome. So what we're gonna do next is we're going to open back our terminal, and let's see, we have already created say my name here, but don't worry, build is going to delete it and rebuild it. So let's run say my name. So it's asking you to say my name. So what is your name? Heisenberg? You're wrong. Heisenberg is not the correct name. Then what is the correct name? Aki? You're right, Aki is the correct name. Oh man, that was a dumb play. All right, if you don't know the context here, you should watch Breaking Bad. It's an awesome show. Anyway, let's do a quick recap. So we created our main method, and inside that we created on line number 6 we created an fmt.println. It's going to print say my name on the console. After that we created a variable of name, very uh, counterintuitive. I mean, it's maybe intuitive. Yeah. So we created a variable called name, and we stored name inside it. So whatever the user is going to type on the line number 9 here, it's going to be stored in it, right? After that, on line number 11, we asked if name is a key, then we're going to print you're right. Otherwise, we're going to print you're wrong. So a little exercise for you, just change this name to your own name. I'm gonna change this to Heisenberg, and you know just to keep it canon, you got them right. And I don't know what would he have said if if the person would have been wrong. So yeah, that's it, guys. This was our small video on if and else and variables on Golang. So if you liked it, do leave a like below and subscribe. I'm putting up the whole series. I'm putting new videos every day. Do let me know if you did not understand something. Let's talk about it in the comments section. So that's all for today. See ya.